Welcome back to the mortgage mindset. Most people think that a bad loan officer is a lender that just gives you a little bit higher of a rate compared to another lender. That's not where the risk is. The real damage is a 30-year loan built the wrong way or a deal that falls apart 3 days before the closing. Here's the part that nobody says out loud. Most of these mistakes are actually being done by lenders that are fully licensed. And that's the issue that nobody really wants us to talk about. I'm a mortgage broker and I'm licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I'm actually about to open my own mortgage brokerage. And I hear these issues coming in when I go and talk to clients that they've had the worst experience with mortgage lenders and they don't really want to deal with us. I mean, really? You're not wrong. You're about to get into a mortgage. It's the biggest loan that you'll ever have to make. And without you actually being educated about the actual risks that are happening, you're not being helped by chasing the lowest rate. A lot of the times, because you end up chasing the rate or a lender is telling you, hey, we've got the best rate possible in the market, it usually ends up causing more damage than actual benefits of having a lower interest rate. My plan is to kind of show you the 30-second check that screens out all the fraud. And that one question that separates a real mortgage advisor from an order taker at one of the big mortgage lenders. How to see exactly how your loan officer gets paid. It's the same test that I'd run for my own competition, and I call it running the 6 numbers. The first thing before you were to even go ahead and think about calling a loan officer, you want to make sure and confirm that loan officer or that lender is actually legally licensed. Every loan officer who's actually legally licensed in this country, they have to go ahead and get an NMLS number, which is the nationwide multi-state licensing system. Having a number is not optional. It's a federal law. So if they do not have a license number, or you cannot go ahead and actually go onto NMLS.gov and pull their information, question it and walk away, because every real loan officer has an NMLS number. So what you do is, once you get to the NMLS consumer access page, it's free and it's public. All you have to do is go ahead and type in that loan officer's name. You'll see the loan officer's name and their NMLS number next to it. And then you also see which company that loan officer is working for, what states that they're actually licensed in. You'll see if they've had any disciplinary history, or if they've made any mistakes, or if they've had any issues that popped up with the government, that would pop up as well. And now all this literally takes 30 seconds. If the name doesn't come up, or the number that they've given you is not real and it does not match, they're not actually licensed, because you have to get that license in that specific state. For me, I had to go and get licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I'm gonna start applying to get licensed in a lot of the other states. But because I'm not legally licensed just yet, I could only practice in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I cannot go ahead and give you a loan in Florida. That's not how that works. If any of this situation happens where you don't find their NMLS number, or their name and their NMLS number don't actually match up with what they're marketing on, if they don't even have registered with the NMLS, then that's like the universe kind of telling you to just walk away. Go ahead and find somebody else that might actually help you and not just take advantage of you. Let's just say you found a lender and they tell you that they're a lender, and you've watched this video. So you say, hey, what is your NMLS number? Because I don't find it anywhere. And they get really weird about it. You have your answer. Walk away. So do this before you send any loan officer a single pay stub or your driver's license or anything. Here's the actual real trap. It's the whole reason that I've decided to make this video, because it's happening a lot. I mean, a lot, more than I've ever expected, from loan officers who are fully licensed. They're showing up on the NMLS, but they don't really know how to actually structure a mortgage that will actually go ahead and benefit their client. So the real question is the next thing that we're gonna go over. So let's say you go ahead, you found a loan officer on the NMLS and everything looks good. They've had no issues, nothing pops up, they're licensed, they work with a lender. Do they run your numbers before they quote a rate? Here's a single tell that separates a real advisor from a salesperson. A real mortgage advisor slash a real licensed mortgage loan originator, what they'll do including myself, is we're gonna run your numbers before we give you any rate. I will not quote you what's the rates as of today until I see your documents, take a look at your income and your debt and all of that. Whereas a salesperson, they always lead with, hey, thank you for giving me a call. I have rates as of today at around 5.75. I want you to think about why. Just the rate itself, it's literally just a marketing number. It means nothing. That's a thing that literally when you see it, hey, this person's gonna give me a 5.75%, let me give them a call. That's all it does. Because your actual mortgage rate is gonna depend a lot on what your credit score is, what your down payment is, what your property type is. Is it a single family, a two family? Is it a condo? And then it's also gonna depend on what your debt to income ratios are and how much of a reserve you have in your bank. Nobody can give you a real number before they go ahead and look at all these things. So if somebody's just telling you, my rate today is a 5.75 and it won't last, use us. It's just marketing. Don't trust it. They're not really advising you. They're baiting you, and then they're gonna switch to whatever actual rates you actually qualify for. Like the rate that you were quoted in the beginning is often just a decoy to get you in through the door, and they know that once you get started, you cannot leave. Here's a line that you should hold on to. An advisor is not a person who gives you the lowest mortgage rate. A mortgage advisor is the person who asks you the right questions, personal goals over the next 5 years, investment goals that you might have. They're gonna ask for all this information before they ever give you a mortgage rate information. The mortgage rate, that's the last thing that comes out of our mouth, not the first thing as soon as we meet. Here's the framework that I run for every one of my files, every potential client that I'll have a conversation with. And this is the exact test that you should be running on every lender before you ever commit to them. And I call this the 6 numbers to look out for if they ask you about. The first thing is they should be asking you about what your credit score is. What is your debt to income ratio? How much expenses do you have? How much your income is? How much of a down payment do you actually have for this property? Then they'll also ask you about your employment history, your assets, and your reserves, and the property type of that specific property that you want to make an offer on. Those are the 6 numbers that we all look at before we even go ahead and give you a pre-approval. So if you're not asked those 6 questions, that's another thing that's telling you to kind of just walk away from that loan officer, because they're not really thinking about you. A real loan officer is going to walk you through all those 6 questions before they go ahead and promise you anything, because those 6 questions, they actually decide what you will actually qualify for and how the loan should be structured and built for your situation and your goals over the time of that mortgage. What I'm actually going to do is we'll pull up an actual pre-approval that I've given out to clients where you'll see, like, I have all the information, meaning I'll have their credit score, I'll have their goals, how much down payment they have, how much their debt to income ratio is, and all of that information before I go ahead and were to quote them anything. As you see, a true pre-approval, after your documents are reviewed, your personal situation is looked at, here's what you should do. So when a loan officer hands you a rate, ask them one thing: my 6 numbers, and how did you use them to land to that rate that you're quoting me? A true lender, he'll already have asked you all those questions before you were to go and ask them. Whereas a salesperson, they won't know what to ask. They won't know why you're asking about your debt to income ratio, or why you're asking about what your credit score and how that's going to affect the mortgage rates for you. They haven't experienced that. They're just trying to pitch you and make their commission. And those are the kind of people that you should kind of stay away from, especially when a potential originator that you want to work with just can't answer your questions. That should be telling you you should walk away. Now, before I show you the 2 promises that should make you walk away, let me save you the worst version of this mistake. A quick pause. If you've been offered a loan right now and something about it feels off, or you're not sure, or you feel like you're being taken advantage of, you can't really explain it, but you have that feeling, that's exactly the moment to get a second set of eyes on your mortgage offer. Reach out to me because I'll run the 6 numbers with you. I'll review the offer that you actually have and tell you if it's an honest offer or if it's just being advertised to, and things are going to change come a week before the closing. It's pretty much a free call. I don't like to pitch. I don't like to do all that pressure stuff. The link will be in the description. So if you have any questions, just reach out. We'll set up a meeting. We'll go over any questions that you might have. Let's get back into this, right? 2 promises that should make you walk out of that office if a loan officer guarantees you your approval before they've ever, I'm not gonna say it again, but one more, ever seen your documents, or they go ahead and pressure you and they tell you, you need to go ahead and sign this approval today because the rates are going to change tomorrow. Those are not signs of confidence. Those are signs of a salesperson, somebody who's just telling you, hey, if we don't do it today, tomorrow everything goes up. That's just sales tactics. People like that kind of travel together. Like, I'm sure you guys have gone to buy a car and you know how those people are. Every one of us knows those kind of people. If you see a loan officer acting like a car salesman, that feeling that you get is telling you, walk away. The people that go ahead and guarantee you these amazing things before they've ever actually sat down and reviewed your documents, oh man, that should scare you. Because like a real pre-approval or an actual real approval letter comes after that loan officer, that broker has actually reviewed all of those 6 numbers, have asked for all the documents to make sure that they could prove it, and then they'll give you the pre-approval. Anyone who says you're approved, don't worry about it, before they've seen one document from you is either guessing or they're telling you what you want to hear, and both of those become your problem at closing. Because you don't have any option but to go ahead and take whatever options that they give you.